If you're a freelance web designer looking to raise your rates and make more money, oh, do I have a treat for you. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how to raise your rates to $1,000 an hour. How about $3,000 an hour? How about possibly raising your rates to $5,000 an hour? How, you might ask? What is this dark web design magic? Let me introduce you to the Relume Site Builder. It's an AI-driven tool. It's going to allow you to build your sitemap, your wireframes, your layouts, inject all the content done by AI, and then immediately take that design and bring it into Figma or potentially right into Webflow, style from there, publish, launch, and get paid. Some of you out there are thinking that this is clickbait and this is not true. I'm about to prove you wrong. Let's jump right in and let me show you the process of increasing your hourly rates. And I want to give you an example, a use case of how this might apply. Recently, I went to a new shave ice place that's opened up in my town. I'm actually wearing the shirt right now. Really like this place a lot. But what if I wanted to build this company a new website and I wanted to charge them $5,000, let's say? Well, I could do it in probably about an hour of time, and I could deliver it to them the next day, and I could potentially get paid. How am I going to do it? Well, let's walk through the process. Let me introduce you to the new site builder by Relume. And if you don't know what Relume is, Relume started out as a library kit that allows you to build components or take these pre-built components. You can see that we have here all these awesome components and then immediately apply them into your Webflow projects. So what you're going to need for this is a Relume account, you're going to need a Figma account, and you're going to need a Webflow account. This is how the process is going to go. We can jump back in, and instead of actually just building it this way, they have their new feature, which allows you to actually build projects or just click here on build a site. Let's click on build projects. You can see we have a bunch of projects that I've been playing with already. Let's go ahead and build this shave ice one right now. I'm going to hit new project. It's going to open up the site builder. And now you'll see over here on the right-hand side, we get an AI tool that's saying, generate a sitemap. This is the foundation. This is the start. We want to tell it a little bit about this business. And that way we can describe the company. We can dictate how many pages we want. Let's just do something really simple like 3. And we're going to put a little bit about this shave ice company. Now, we've given it just a little bit of like a description of the company, and we've said how many pages. Let's go ahead and click generate. You're going to see the AI taking over, and it's going to generate a sitemap with these 3 pages and suggestions. And you can see immediately it's suggesting all the different elements inside of each page. So on our home page, it's saying, let's do a hero that welcomes visitors with a captivating image and headline, then a feature section talking about the shave ice, then a benefits section, gallery, you know, a logo list, a CTA, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, if we like this, we can just run with it. If we don't like it, what we can do is we could either, you know, continue generating all the pages if we did like it, or we could rerun. I'm going to rerun it one more time and just see what happens, because I didn't like the logo list. Maybe we could use that potentially, but I'm going to see what it generates by doing it a second time. Okay, so I can actually just use the tool and zoom in and out. Holding down control. This is pretty cool. And again, we got hero, feature, feature list, testimonial, locations. That's looking better. Gallery, CTA, and a footer. Okay, I like that. Now, what's really cool about this is it says locations, menu, and then you have the individual location pages and maybe products. Okay, let's go with it. And let's say instead of, let's see, we have locations, menu. We don't want to do the individual products. I don't think it's really necessary. So this maybe for like some other type of restaurant, this might make sense. But let's put like locations, menu, and then let's do this. Let's do, instead of that, I'm going to double click here and put about us. I can generate, I can let the AI actually generate the locations page. Let's try that. And so that's one option, right? I'm going to do the same thing for the about us page. And while I'm here on the menu and AI is doing its magical work, I'm going to hit section here. And when we open up section, we get a bunch of opportunities here on the right-hand side. These are all blank sections. These are the components that are offered inside of Relume. These prefabricated components that we could just immediately stitch in to the layout. Now, you know, we're talking nav bars, footers, all that kind of stuff. But notice this, we also have some global sections, nav bars and footers. Those are global across our entire site, so they're going to stay consistent. So we can do that, but let's just go ahead and generate and see what happens. We generate that. And why don't we generate the location as well? Now, while it's doing that, it's going to generate our menu. let's zoom in. And if we want to, we can actually click on a section and I can use the arrow keys to move these up and down, or I could drag and drop them like almost like a Trello card here and there, or I could bring it into another page if I wanted to. So I can build out my sitemap here. You can also, if you want to, you can, it's going to generate content for us based off of these titles and based off of the text that's inside. Okay, so let's not do features list, but instead let's do how it works. And then we'll put come in, select your flavor. Actually, let's do first, select your flavors. Second, select your toppings. Let's just do something like that. Okay, so and then let's be a little cheeky here and say third, eat and enjoy. Okay, or eat. Oh, let's be a little bit more fun because this is a Hawaiian shave ice place. Eat, I like this, with aloha. You guessed it. Okay, boom. All right, now we have everything we need. I think I like it quite a bit, let's say. So why don't we head over here and we're going to hit our wireframe. You can see up here at the top, we're currently building a sitemap. As soon as we click over to wireframe, the AI tool is going to take over and it's going to suggest these pre-built components inside of the Relume library. Here it is. You can see all of them working at the same time. This is where AI is going to become incredibly helpful for us as designers. You can see how it's like really laying everything out perfectly for us. It has pretty much finished designing the wireframes for and the layouts and everything for our website. I'm just going to zoom in here on the home page. We could take care of like all of it. We could do every page, but just for this demo, we're just going to focus on the home page. You can see it's dropped in a really nice header up here, navigation, drop downs, all that kind of stuff. A really nice hero, like hero section. We got a really nice left aligned 2-column. Got this 3-column thing. Now this is really similar to the sitemap where we can actually grab any of these and just using our arrow keys, we can move them up and down and kind of organize. But you'll notice also when I click on, for instance, this like hero image here, this layout that we have, maybe I don't love this layout. We could go over here to the right-hand side and say replace component. When we do that, we get options for all of the different types of components that Relume offers, right? So maybe we want to do something a little bit like that, like this medium length hero. Maybe we want to do something like this that has maybe like a little bit more interest. I like that. Let's pop that thing in there. Really, really good. Look how it's also immediately injected some copy for us. AI driven copy, authentic tropical shave ice, multiple locations. Okay, now if we don't like that, we can regenerate the copy simply by pressing here. Let's regenerate copy and see what it comes up. Experience authentic tropical shave ice. Oh, I like that a little bit better. That's really, really good. Now I'm going to come up here into the top left. I'm going to rename this shave ice. And that's important. Naming your project inside of Relume is important. We have a couple of different options. From here, we've spent maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes doing this. We got about 50 minutes left to reach that hour mark and style this thing out and get it up online. One of two directions. Direction number one is to take what we've done here in Relume and push it directly into Figma, and we can style it out. We can play around and kind of experiment a little bit. The other option is to push it directly into Webflow. Let's start with Figma, and then we'll talk about if you like to just maybe design in the browser and push it directly up there. The difference here would be if you already have some sort of visual direction or vision for how you want things to be, you can just push it right to Webflow and then start styling right there. We're going to play around a little bit first inside of Figma. I'm going to show you this workflow right now. So to do this, we're going to head up to the top right hand corner. I have a couple of options here. We're going to export to Figma or to Webflow. Let's export to Figma first. And when we do that, it's going to say, hey, just make sure you install the Figma plugin. Okay. And we already have that plugin installed. So what will happen then is it will open up not only the plugin, but you're going to want to get the Relume library file here. And when you open that up, we'll just open up our Figma file here. You can see that this Pro Relume library Figma kit version 1.3 is the newest one that we're working with right now. This is the one that comes with this welcome documentation, tells you how to build things in Relume. You also have like a style guide that's already built out. You can see we've actually already messed with it a little bit beforehand. But then you have like, you know, your thumbnail for this, but look, you have all of your different sections over here. You can see we can take a look at all these Relume components, so features, careers, gallery. All of these are listed here, and you can jump in and see the different page templates. If we wanted to play with those, we can. What we're going to do is create a new page in here. I've created one called Shave Ice website, and I've grabbed a bunch of colors, and I used Adobe Firefly to generate a bunch of Shave Ice images. I grabbed a palette, some coolers really quickly. I just looked tropical, fun. Bam, I found a color palette. I brought it in, and what I did was I immediately made styles out of my colors. See over here on the right-hand side. So I have local color styles, and then I have like a color scale for like my purple or amethyst color. And all the rest of the styles that are generated here are generated from the Relume library. So all of my text and my heading. Okay, so what we want to do is I just want to zoom out and get to a nice clear place, and I want to open up the Relume library plugin. Okay, when we do that, it's going to ask me to log in, and I just got to do a really quick connection. Boom, we go back and we are logged in. Okay, so we're here at the site builder. I'm going to close that because I already have that little prompt right there was for us to get this file. Just going to kick us out to the spot, and look, you can see the different projects that I'm working on, right? I can click on a project and it's going to load everything we've done in the project, right? So we have the primary sitemap. That was the sitemap we created. I can either add that sitemap right here if I want to. I could add every wireframe if I want to, or I can click into it and then I can get the individual pages. Since we only really focused on our homepage, let's just grab the homepage wireframe for now, shall we? I'm going to grab that wireframe. I'm going to hit add wireframe, and you can see immediately that Relume is going to go ahead and start importing that website wireframe for us. Boom, there it is. It's dropped it on the canvas. You can see it's actually in the process of updating, and it tells us at the very bottom that the page has been added. Okay, so we can close this now and move this over to the side, and you can see what's really cool is it gave us the mobile version, which is super dope. I appreciate that. I'm just going to ungroup this really quickly, and I'm going to get rid of my mobile version. I'm not going to worry about that for now, but now I have my local version. Now you might be asking yourself, why is that button already the same color? Well, I kind of cheated. I was toying around with this beforehand, and your next step is going to be to go into the style guide, and you can see our entire style guide here has like all of our text, it has all of our buttons, and we're just going to want to restyle here. Now this is exactly the same process that you would do, I'll show you later, if you go right into webflow. You're going to go immediately to the style guide, change everything to make sense for your brand, your colors, and then it's going to immediately apply across the entire website. What I mean there is I came in and I rounded all these buttons. I can grab all of these buttons here. Boom, boom. We're grabbing all of them, right? And we can just come down to our layer and make sure that we're using our purple or our amethyst color. And we can make sure that we take that border off. We don't need it anymore, right? We can do the same thing here. We can grab all of these buttons and we can do the same thing. Turn that to purple. We like that a lot. And then your selection color, that's the text inside. Maybe we want that to be purple, and we can go across the entire thing. Now you'll notice when I go back to my Shave Ice website, I have the buttons have been updated every single place, right? Which is really, really nice. The next thing I need to do is update my text styles. So that's a basic Figma thing. I'm just going to come over and I'm going to grab my headings and my text, and I can grab my H1. Like for instance, this is a heading H1, this style. Why don't we actually grab that? And we'll just do a quick edit, right? So what do we want to do? We want to change it away from Roboto. Let's do like Fira Sans Black, something like that. Regular, boom, immediately I changed the text, okay? And we can just do the same thing here. We can go into our H2 and we could change all of these to be our brand color. Boom, we just changed that as well. And what is this? This is our H4. Let's change our H4. You'd want to do this for every one of your different typographic styles. Boom, we've changed that as well. You can see how the site is starting to slowly transform. Now, something that's a little bit different is notice that each of these layers are components right now. They're part of the Relume component set. If you're just working inside of Relume normally, this is fantastic because you can drag a component out. You can kind of lay things out in wireframe and then just copy and paste directly into Webflow, but we might want to experiment a little bit here and play around a little bit before we get to Webflow. This is some of that exploratory work that you might want to do. So with that being said, I'm going to detach the instance of my header here, and then that would allow me to come in and start to kind of like make some changes. So maybe I want to do the same thing for my navigation, and I want to get rid of that bottom navigation thing that's happening there, or that bottom border. Maybe I want to come in and change the background color to be like this really off kind of like purple color, light 50 purple amethyst. That's already looking kind of cool. And then what I can do is all of these are probably laid out inside of auto layout. So keep that in mind. We have some of our images. I might want to just start dragging images in here. From there, maybe we have a couple little elements that we prepared. Maybe I just want to bring those in. You know, just move through your entire project, doing all of the design work and saying, maybe I want this section to move from, you know, that kind of light color to maybe this like light pineapple color. Now we're starting to have a little bit of fun and build a website. It may not be your cup of tea, but we're doing it really, really fast. And you can do this really fast, right? Just like style through it, make it happen, do what you want, explore. But now let's talk about the second way that you can actually move your wireframes, your layouts, all of your site into Webflow directly. Let's talk about that workflow. Okay, so I'm back here in Relume, and I have my site built. I love it. I'm going to go up to export again, but this time I'm going to export to Webflow. And here's what it's going to say. Make sure that you copy and paste into Webflow. Okay, so to export wireframes, right click on a page or section, select copy for Webflow, and paste into your project. Got it. So this means we can right click on this and copy to Webflow. Now, it's going to recommend that we paste the style guide, right? We want to grab the Relume library style guide. We want to clone that, okay? When we click that, it's going to open up a Webflow clonable, right? Which we're immediately going to want to do. Let's clone in Webflow. I'm going to start a new project for us, right? So let's go ahead and create the site. Let's call this Shave Ice and create the site. And again, the reason we're using this clonable is because it's going to have that style guide built right in, and we can do those same things we did in Figma, except right here in Webflow. Perfect. Okay, so it's built our project. It's loaded things up. You can see the pages that I have in the left-hand bar here are my home, and I have a draft style guide. So while I'm here in my home, go to my layers. Let's delete everything that's there. We'll click inside the body, and I copied from Relume. I'm just going to paste right here, and boom, our site appears right immediately. Has all that basic styling, everything like that. We can immediately preview it. We even get some of the out-of-the-box animations right there from Relume, which is great. The next thing we're going to do is really, really similar. We're going to go over to our style guide, and we're going to now change all of these elements, right? So if you want to change like the color that you're going to use, or you want to change the buttons, like whatever it is, come in here and let's just, as an example, let's just pick a little bit of a different color of purple, but we're grabbing that. We're going to take the border off. Beautiful, just like that. And maybe we could even then grab like the border radius of these things and change it. But anyways, you can make all those changes in the style guide, because guess what happens immediately over here? Boom, they're immediately applied inside of your project. Again, and now you're just doing whatever little bits of styling you need to do to, you know, like actually make it kind of interesting, right? We could bring that color down, and boom, we're building a website. All right, let's press preview and see what we got so far. What's really cool is that we have built this in a matter of minutes, and it's already fully responsive with a working navigation. And all we'd have to do is just spend a little bit more time kind of like spicing up the layout, adding our colors, doing all of our brand work, maybe reworking the icons, and we already have content written for it. We have the whole thing pretty much done. This is a really impressive way. If you want to work with clients and increase your rate, the way to do that is to automate a lot of the mundane things, is to make the process faster, is to leverage tools like the Relume library as well as the new Relume site builder to get things up quickly, and then send that to your client as quickly as possible. In doing so, you are now increasing your hourly rate. I could finish this website out maybe in another 35 or 45 minutes, and I would be pretty much done. There might be a couple tweaks here or there. If I have to work on it for a second hour, okay. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and development and no-code tools and processes just like this one. So make sure you hit that bell so you know when another one of these videos comes out. If you want to try out Relume, check the link down in the description. I highly recommend it. It's an awesome tool. If you have questions, leave those in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.